G'day Spurs fans, Paul Hotspur Hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. And Ange has spoken in the press conference, the main bit, and the other bit that they keep secret for a little bit just to make journalists feel like they're still relevant in this ever-changing world. It's pretty good, and there was a couple of things I noticed out of it. They were talking about the way criticism goes and how do you deal with it and why is it there, and I don't know, man, it's Ange did mention that either, I forgot the phrase he used, someone's either like brilliant or crap, a hero or a villain. There's no in between anymore. And I think Ange is right, and I've been saying this as well, that things spread very quickly. People don't bother doing a little bit of research themselves, that extra step to see what they're hearing is got any basis, or whether it's just bullshit. People just listen, they hear something, it goes in their brain like a little slogan, and then they just start spreading it around. I've seen it on my channel, man, when, you know, there's a talking point of moaning whingers, and they just come in and parrot the same crap, and it's, I don't know if disheartening is the right word, but it means I think it's easier to deal with, because you know that there's no independent thought gone into it at all. It's just parroting, so it doesn't matter, does it? But it's an interesting contest, this. Postecoglou versus Ten Haag. And, you know, the difference in the journeys of these managers, and the difference in the expectations and opinions of the fan. Manchester United, look, not that I'm really super close, but you do see bits and bobs here and there. And I'd say, like, Man United fans are not happy at the moment, not happy at all. You know, their ground is falling to bits. There's a log flume ride going down it when it rains, which is, I mean, I don't understand that, because Old Trafford, sort of like White Hart Lane really, but Old Trafford was one of those grounds that used to host the semi-finals of the FA Cup in the good old days, where they used to have it at a neutral ground, and Tottenham, like I say, White Hart Lane was on the list. Villa Park, Hillsborough, you know, whereas now it's just Wembley, and it's not even old Wembley with the towers, it's new bloody soulless bloody Wembley, isn't it? But their fans don't seem happy, and it's an interesting thing, isn't it? Like, Erik Ten Haag has actually won a couple of trophies at Manchester United, which, according to some Spurs fans, that's all they want at Tottenham, is just a couple of trophies. So I'm just thinking, would I have been happy with Ten Hag coming in and getting 2 cups, but then playing like that? The problem for me is they just don't seem to have a style or identity. You don't know what Manchester United is anymore, apart from a leaky roof. I mean, so it's nice winning a couple of cups, and that, you know, that's a fair achievement. But when you go to a football game and you've got no idea who you're watching anymore, you know the names and numbers on the shirts, but who are they? Who are they? Like, at the top level of competitive sport, it comes down to who you are. Who are you? You can all kick a ball, you can all, you know, tricks and tips and all that sort of stuff, but who are you? And I don't know who Man United are. And it's no secret that, you know, Ten Hag has to adapt and change. He almost seems to, it's almost like on a game-by-game basis. I don't know if he thinks he's some sort of master tactician that chops and changes it around for each different team he plays. He's certainly not playing any sort of Ajax-y. By the way, Ajax Total Football came from Tottenham, came from Vic Buckingham, as did Barcelona. It all came from Spurs. Everything good in football comes from Spurs. If you join the dots far enough and with tenuous links enough, it always comes down to Tottenham. And yeah, they're just not playing with any substance. It's almost like he's, you know, so he's trying to take into account the other team, but unfortunately, he's no Pep, is he? I think Pep sets his Manchester City team up quite a lot based on the opposition, which is why I don't like Manchester City, and also find them like a boring team to watch. And Arsenal, oh my lord, Arsenal were almost in danger of getting exciting a couple of years ago, weren't they? They almost got my resting heart rate above 54, maybe at a 56, but that's about it. Tottenham's one of the few teams, although you've got to say Arsenal are playing with an identity. It's a shit identity. It should be in a line-up on Police 5, keep them peeled. But nevertheless, you know what you're going to get with Arsenal. With Manchester United, you don't have a clue. So we're going to be going there tomorrow night. It's like a 1:30 in the morning AM kickoff. I'm really looking forward to it. You know, I think we're going to win. It's just a question of how much are we going to win by. We know that Manchester United can often go to sleep during games, and apparently have the aura of just not giving a shit, really, not really caring. Like their captain, Fernandes. I think he's still captain, isn't he? Bruno Fernandes. He just seems to lose interest in games. But for some reason, Ten Hag never substitutes him. It happened against Twente. Steve's Twente team, where they needed to have some changes done on the pitch, you know. I know people slag Ange off for being slow on substitution. I think he's spot on, actually. You want to see Ten Hag, mate. He doesn't even sub the players that should be coming off. Not at the 70th, 80th, 85th minute. They're just on the pitch, stinking it all up. And Twente got their goal because there were a few of these players still on the pitch. They just got skipped past, didn't they? Skipped past. So if it's that Manchester United that shows up, I think it's going to be a handsome win. If it's the decent one, because they can play well when they feel like it, it's going to be much closer. But I don't think an identity is something it's easy to switch on and off. The more you do it, I think the more it slips through your hands like grains of rice, you know. You're either in it or you're out of it. You can't go, right, this week we're going to play our style of football because we're only playing like Ipswich, whereas next week, we're playing Liverpool, so we've got to be all different. No. Not the way we're doing at Tottenham Hotspur. We're playing the same way, and look, yeah, with a bit of tactical adaptation, you know, and it depends what players you've got. This whole crap about Ange not adapting or anything, he's not adapting the way people want him to, but he adapts with what he's got, but his philosophy doesn't change. That's the thing, his philosophy. The driving force that penetrates our football on the front foot, always playing to the whistle, don't fuck about and go to the corner flag, that sort of stuff. That ain't going to change at Tottenham. We saw it with 10 men against Qarabag. We're going to see it when we go to Old Trafford on the weekend. We're going to continue to play that way. Now, last year's game at Old Trafford was a bit of a good game, but it ended in a draw. And it'd be nice if we come out with more than that this weekend. That's 3 points we've gained on last year. Now, don't get too excited because we stuffed up against Leicester at the beginning of the season. So this will bring us back to what we were last season. So we win this game, we're on course for 66 points. But it's all right. It's all right. There's lots of games to play with. That figure should hopefully go shooting up after a few more games. But so we got Manchester United, Ferencváros, another link with Tottenham because Arthur Rowe from Tottenham trained Puskás. I'm assuming they're called Ferencváros after Puskás, aren't they? I don't know, man. Maybe it's just a place name. But I thought Ferenc is in there somewhere. And of course, Ferenc, Puskás, trained our very own Ange Postecoglou. And I think a bit more sunk into his head than, I don't know, who trained Ten Hag? What sort of career did he have? I don't know, man. I don't know. He's a fraud, isn't he? He's a fraud. You compare him against Ange. And for all the crap I've heard, some journalists or, you know, weak people in the media have said that Ange can be a little bit prickly in press conferences. I just think he doesn't take any shit. But if he's asked stupid questions, he'll give him short shrift. But I think, you know, it's often a mistake that people make in today's world. Being direct and honest is not the same as being rude, abrasive, arrogant. It's just that some people can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. That's your problem. So, you know, you got to flower it up and, you know, assume that all the journalists really do know everything about football, which of course they don't. They know bugger all. And I like what Ange says about, you know, back to the criticism that, you know, people aren't even watching what they're talking about. And I think that's true. Or at the very least, I've said a number of times that people are watching very different games to what I'm watching because I'm really enjoying our football at the moment. And I hope it continues. We could go on a bit of a streak here. this would change our match-winning run into 4. And when we get to 4, I'm calling that a streak. That's right, it's a streak. Anyway, folks, peace and love, and come on, you Spurs.